My last role in a company was that of a VP. I was managing an 80 women team. So I think that is where I really got the inkling to want to work with women more to kind of help them
Is
because I.
when you mentioned that you were going through some struggles, you had some mental health experience. So, what helped you to hold yourself up during those situations?
I used to be someone who used to get panic attacks 3 times a day. Now I don't remember the last time I got it because I got really better, good at knowing when it is going to come and immediately doing my exercises and calming it down.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today, I would like to say that we have been taught a lot of things on building a career since our childhood. But there's something which is least taught to us is how to manage or how to get that hand over our emotional stability and our feelings. And that's what we are going to discuss today. We have a very special guest, Miss Neha. She helps women in healthcare sector to build a business, take those few steps to work on their boundaries, and she empowers them to have a strong decision making along with balancing their own emotional and mental well-being. So welcome, Neha. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me, Shivani. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to have this conversation as well. So, yeah, looking forward.
Okay. So, Neha, I would love to have a quick brief from your journey so far in helping in this field. Like, how are the things? How do things work when you're working with solopreneurs and women, helping them to balance out both um, work as well as the personal life?
Right. So I have been into coaching for the last 1.5+ years. Before that, I am a nutritionist by education. I have over 11 years of experience working in general. But since COVID, I had the opportunity to kind of get into startup space and I was able to upskill a lot there. I figured out a lot of new things and I became a manager. Then it kind of, led huge teams. My last role in a company was that of a VP. I was managing an 80 women team. So I think that is where I really got the inkling to want to work with women more to kind of help them because uh, no matter how talented and amazing they were, everyone came with a heavy feeling of not being enough or not doing enough. And that kind of really stuck a chord with me because I'm also someone like that. No matter the amount of work I put in, I always used to feel it's not enough and I have to keep pushing myself. So I wanted to understand that space a little better. And so I decided I want to pursue this, but then I did not know what to, how it would look like at that point. I wasn't even aware coaching is an actual profession, though I used to do it, like have calls with my reportees regularly, helping them in whatever way I can, but I did not realize that it is a profession. So then I looked into it and like I kind of went into the rabbit hole of understanding what a coach provides, like how is it different from therapy, what are the outcomes if someone comes to me, what do they go home with, etc. So like it was a really enlightening and an experience to kind of understand those things. But after that, it's been 1.5 years now, and I work with women primarily. When I started, my niche was as huge as I work with women. That's it. But then it kind of started narrowing down into a bit more mental health stress related space. Now, the main difference with me and what a therapist would do is I'm not trying to heal traumas, or I'm not trying to kind of, you know, help them recover from their mental illness or anything of that sort. But where I do come in is help them keep moving forward irrespective of the things that they are carrying. So it's more future oriented, more action oriented. How can we just keep moving forward? Because I also became a VP or whatever, along with having really bad depression and self-harm tendencies and anxiety, PTSD. Like my diagnosis is just like a list at this point. So I got to that space in spite of everything that I was dealing with. So that's exactly what I want to help people as well. I don't want them to feel blocked because they have a certain mental health related issue. Things can keep moving, they can do brilliant things. So that's where my practice is focused on right now. I work with amazing women, each having coming from like very varied sources. Like I have someone dealing with ADHD, depression, and trying to do things. There is someone who is going through a domestic like, you know, abusive situation and trying to still figure things out. I'm working with someone whose parents is diagnosed with cancer, and she's trying to figure how can she keep moving forward in spite of all that. So it's like really intense and varied, you know, issues that I work with right now. I feel really um, honored and grateful to be helping them and to do the work that I do. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me and my work.
The very first, I am just taking a moment to, you know, process how you entered the field, and when you were speaking about your journey and directed towards how now you are helping and guiding others who might be going from something similar to what you have experienced. So the very first thing, if uh, if you are comfortable sharing, when you mentioned that you were going through some struggles, you had some mental health experience. So what helped you to hold yourself up during those situations? If you can give few things which you feel that helped you during those phase of struggling with the difficult part as a person, like personally.
Yes. So I think my diagnosis or whatever started really young, like when I was in 1920. So I was able to kind of grow with it. Not able to, I had to grow along with it. So it was not something like I have had different phases of, you know, I have given up on things. I have tried fighting them. Like it's been a phase, but something that has worked is kind of making my peace with this is something that I do live with, and I have to constantly be aware and taking care of myself in that space. Like, it is like someone who has a genetic disposition to alcoholism, for example, goes into the world knowing that they have a higher chance of, you know, getting it if they start drinking, right? It's the same way with me. So I have kind of realized that if the normal world has 80 percentage chance, sorry, 50 percentage chance of having a mental illness, mine is even more higher, and I have to kind of be aware and kind of, you know, work along with it. So something that has definitely helped is integrating it into my day-to-day life, not in a pity sense that, oh my god, I have all this or whatever, but more like it is what it is, and I have to kind of figure a way out to make that my power. So some things that really do help me is having a routine. If my routine kind of goes away, I don't feel very sane. So I think having a specific routine, which can be as simple as I have slow mornings, I walk every day, or like I read, etc. Like those things that keep me grounded is necessary for me to do. I am a very avid therapy goer. I go like monthly, twice, whatever minimum. So that is also something that I have consistently maintained ever since I have managed to have the financial backing for it. So I think if I am being able to be there for my clients, it's primarily because I have put in the work to be there for myself as well, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So I think I'm very aware of that. And yeah, so I'm not sure if that answers the question specifically, but it definitely helps me keep my sanity if I have routine and if I follow the things that I'm supposed to like do and follow. Like there is no one specific mantra as such that has worked, but having a routine, stability, not having intense highs and lows definitely helps.
Hmm. No, that absolutely makes a lot of sense. Um, it's a holistic uh, care that one has to implement and one has to uh, adapt, is what I clearly can sense from your response. So definitely it makes a lot of sense here. And when you mentioned that of course one can't pour from an empty cup, it's really difficult to have have those moments where we feel heavy, but we have to have that balance as a healthcare professional, even if it's any other, not just mental health, but healthcare doctors, for the sake of example. How do you manage to have some form of boundary, or some form of self care, as you mentioned, but some business principles or rules that you have for yourself, so that it goes it doesn't make emotionally taxing?
All right. So I think something that is when I was in the early stages of my career, not just as a coach, but also in the nutrition space, whatever, like the beginning comes from the space of I want to help as many people as I can. I want to, be there, help them, figure things out for them. As much noble it is, I think it also comes with a lot of savior complex or wanting to save the situation or fix them or whatever, which I have learned is not something that is sustainable. So now the approach is more of okay, I give you the tools, I give you what is required during these sessions that we have, and I am going to hope and that is enough. Like I'm going to hope that I have given you enough things for you to be able to handle it. So I think I am not as much personally connecting to the struggles of my client to the point that it brings me down as well. I'm able to kind of keep a boundary of, I hear it as deeply as I can and listen as closely as I can during this session. But at the same time, I'm aware that if I take it home with me, it is going to be a problem. So, like, I think I have learned to create that boundary so that it does not pull me down as well. Um, so I think that shifting the mindset from wanting to save and fix to kind of wanting to just be there and like support has helped a lot to create the boundary that you're talking about. Um, Other than that, again, like I have it comes from experience. I think, like, once you, maybe a few years back, I might not have had the clarity that I have right now, but now I know my priorities. I know what I want to do, where I want to put my energy into, my time into, who are the people that I want to put my energy into, time into. I don't take clients where I don't feel they have the intention to actually work on themselves, because then it is a lost cause. It's a waste of my time and your time. So I think I have gotten better at understanding what exactly, who exactly I can help and I want to help, and I am really good at helping, and what's the best way to support them, uh, by, like, while also not bringing myself down in the process. So yeah, I think one, experience, and two, not wanting to save but wanting to be present has really helped.
Hmm, okay. Not wanting to save, but wanting to be present. That's that's really eye-opening and deep as at the same time thing. But how one can have, I mean, I just wanted to ask here how important it is to handle those things empathetically, uh, not just in this situation, but in general in coaching, in coaching or in any form of healthcare services, handling um, clients empathetically or handling any aspects around healthcare structure setup empathetically. So what's your thought about empathy in the healthcare business or healthcare entrepreneurship?
I think there is no place for a business if you don't have empathy for this job, because whatever you tell, healthcare is a space where the person is being very vulnerable with you, no matter what the situation. Even if it is a blood draw, they're letting you do that. It's a very vulnerable space that your client, patient, etc., is allowing you to be in, which means that you have to be aware of what is not even the right thing, but what is the kind thing to say. Because if you end up saying anything which is insensitive, they take it to heart, because they are at that space in a really vulnerable opening to someone for the first time kind of a space. So I think there is, again, like, there is no option but to be empathetic. At the same time, it does not have to be the kind of empathy where you're blurring your own boundaries, blurring your own protections that you have. If something's kind of get a little too much for yourself, like someone is reaching out at 11 p.m. telling you something really serious, you know that that's not something that you want to handle right now, so you can take a stand and politely decline that. We'll talk about this tomorrow. So again, empathy without boundary is kind of a disservice to yourself. So um, that is the only thing that I would say someone has to kind of remember when it comes to empathy, that don't extend it beyond the point of your own comfort. Then it is not empathy. It is, uh, can't think of the word. It is a disservice to yourself. So other than that, no matter what space you are in, let's say if I have someone talking to me about a diet and I tell them, yeah, this, you are eating like this, that's why you're fat, that is something that they are going to get affected by. If someone tells me in my session something really serious about their manager, or this or how they responded, and even though I disagree with the response, and if I go and be like, yeah, that's why he behaved that way, then he or she behaved that way, like, it comes as an accusation, it comes as a judgment. And it's very important that, especially in a profession, caregiving profession, or in a profession where you are listening to someone's problems, you are not supposed to be in the space of judgment, rather be in the space of listening. And kind of, you can have opinion, you're a human, you will have judgment. It is understood. You will have biases, but that bias and judgment should not come into the session. As far as you are aware of it, you are able to manage that. I think that's uh, good. So yeah, so I think that's a little bit about the empathy thing.
with it. Okay, so just switching some gears here. As we had a conversation before having today's conversation, we spoke about how you help clients adapt some healthy coping mechanisms while having some form of difficulties, even day to day struggles. So I would love to know about few coping mechanisms. It will really help.
I think my process as such, one is I am really I believe that your body has to be ready to be willing to talk about things, willing to accept things. So that's something that I look at as my primary or first line of defense or whatever. Like if someone is sharing something, they are not feeling entirely comfortable. There is a lot of agitation, restlessness, etc. So kind of bringing that down is my primary thing. I don't go into too much deep conversations unless I feel they are at a space where they can actually talk about it. And after the session, they are going to be able to deal with things that we have spoken about without being, you know, not specifically re-traumatized, but still like it shouldn't be a hinder to them. So my first layer is always body related exercises. So we do a lot of breath work, as simple as butterfly hug, box breathing. We do bilateral simulations, like variations of butterfly hug. It can be like this or this, like depending on whatever works for the person. So that is something that I start with, so that you are able to, I'm giving you the coping mechanism for you to not get restless, for your body to not get overwhelmed at difficult situations. So breath work is something that really helps in that space. Other than that, we also do writing related exercises. I give them prompts instead of just telling, okay, write a journal. Instead of that, kind of asking for, okay, you write about something, 5 years from now, what do you want your life to be? Like we kind of try to free write a lot. Like free writing especially is a way to tap into your subconsciousness, which means that you kind of start with one simple thing and just kind of let your words take you where you want it to be. They can share it with me, not share it with me as well. I never force them to share, but at the same time, like, mm, putting pen to paper brings a lot of clarity. I think that's also something that we have worked on. Other than that, depending on the situation, like for example, when I work with someone with ADHD, I give them tools related to it, like there is a lot of procrastination, for example, when it comes with ADHD. So how do I not so the problem with the procrastination is that it is not oh my god, I'm procrastinating, let me do something. It actually goes in the direction of, oh my god, I'm procrastinating, I'm really lazy, I'm really bad, I'm not doing things. Like it goes into that rabbit hole. So kind of I give them, like for example, one thing that we do is have a scale. Like if you're not in the mood, or you don't feel like doing anything, make sure you're at least doing 0 to 3, which is your basic bathing, eating, you're walking, etc. And like once your 0 to 3 is done, then probably you can try 3 to 6, which can be a little bit more higher, work for half an hour, whatever, right? So like we kind of give a measuring scale on that and try to work on it. So again, depending on the Situation one. Second, depending on what the person will respond to the most. Like, for example, I have clients who would rather respond better to validating sentences than breath work. So I have to kind of keep repeating appreciation or keep telling them that they're on the right track, keep reassuring that you're doing well, etc. While there is another set of population, no matter how much I tell them they are doing well, they won't listen to it. Like they don't trust it, right? So for them, it has to be something else. So I think it is really individualistic what kind of things that I use. At the same time, I'm very aware that I am also just beginning, like understanding these things, and I want to learn a lot more of coping mechanisms as I go by. What more can I introduce to people? Like there is a lot of beautiful things. Like one that anyone with anxiety, panic attack, something that I work with is JPMR, which my therapist taught me, and like I now teach it to people. Though I don't technically have, I have not learned it or anything, but I have done so many variations of it. I used to be someone who used to get panic attacks 3 times a day. Now I don't remember the last time I got it, because I got really better, good at knowing when it is going to come and immediately doing my exercises and calming it down. So I think those kind of things, again, a lot is out there in the world. I want to learn them and kind of help people as much as I can. But right now, body related exercises, writing related exercises, and specific to people, and what do they respond to, that's something that I put work into. Like if I have a call with Shivani, I put my last half an hour, 1 hour into deciding what do I do in this call, what are the things that I'm going to teach Shivani, and what will she respond to well. And that's how I look at it.
Hmm. Absolutely. I agree to what you mentioned, that it is always individualistic. It's different for every
Sense.
person. And yeah, so since I think we are mostly at the concluding end of our conversation, if there's something which we have missed out and you think that it will really help solopreneurs, women out there who want to balance it out, or there's some form of message you want to give, please do share it.
I think the one thing that comes to my mind is not try to do everything alone. Don't be a hero and try to kind of figure life alone and figure your struggles alone. As much as independent it sounds, independence is kind of overrated. You need community, you need people, you need support, you need uh, someone who's looking out for you the way you want to be looked out for, and that kind of help exists out in the world. And human beings have the tendency to help. They are naturally wired to help. All you have to do is ask what kind of help you need and you will find it. So I think that's the only thing that I would suggest. Don't try to figure things out on your own and call it independence. It's just suffering at the end of the day. So let's not romanticize that. And look for help, ask for help. People are dying to help, which I have felt in LinkedIn a lot. There is so many people doing wonderful things. There is the niches are so specific. There is people who will talk to you about grief. There is people who will talk to you about neurodivergence. There are people who will talk to you about as specific as you can think. Divorce. There is people who will look into that. So, like, I think any kind of help you need, there are people out there. You just have to ask for it, reach out for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And a very I think it's a very simple thing, but yes, of course, we need to say it repeatedly. So that was wonderful to bring bring in the concluding part of it. So yeah, it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful conversation that we had. And That was it from my end. So thank you so much once again, Neha, for joining. Looking forward to staying in touch.